The war in the Middle East just got bigger. For months it was Gaza, then Lebanon, then Iran. But now the battlefield has shifted nearly 1,800 kilometers away into Yemen. And here's the headline. Israel may have just assassinated the prime minister of the Houthis in a missile strike. Think about that for a second. A sitting Houthi prime minister, Ahmed al-Rahabi, reportedly killed in the heart of Sana'a, Yemen's capital, alongside the group's defense minister, its military chief of staff, and maybe even more top leaders. This isn't just another strike. This is Israel saying, we can't hit you anywhere, anytime. But the real question is, why Yemen? Why now? And what does this mean for the future of this war that already feels endless? Let's break it down. Here's what went down. Reports say Israeli intelligence tracked a group of Houthi leaders in real time. These weren't random guys with rifles. We're talking about the entire Houthi leadership brain trust. They were reportedly watching a televised speech from the leader, Abdul Malik al-Houthi. And right as they gathered, missiles hit. The message couldn't be clearer. Israel is watching, Israel can strike no matter where you are. And if the reports are true, this wasn't just a symbolic attack. The Houthis' defense minister Mohammed Nasser al-Atafi and their chief of staff, Mohammed al-Ghamari, were among the dead. These men weren't just figureheads, they were the operational backbone of the Houthi military machine. So Israel is basically saying, we're not just firing drones out of the sky anymore, we're cutting the head off the snake. But let's zoom out for a second, because a lot of you are probably asking, who exactly are the Houthis and why is Israel fighting them now? The Houthis started as a rebel group in Yemen almost 2 decades ago. But they aren't just rebels anymore, they control massive chunks of Yemen, including the capital Sana'a. And the rise to power has been fueled by none other than Iran. That's right, the Houthis are Iran's most aggressive proxy in the region. Since late 2023, they've fired hundreds of ballistic missiles, drones, and cruise missiles at Israel. And it's not just Israel. They've been targeting international shipping lanes in the Red Sea, threatening global trade. And the slogan literally goes, that's to America, that's to Israel, curse on the Jews. Yeah, subtle. So from Israel's perspective, this strike wasn't just revenge, it was strategic. By eliminating key Houthi leaders, Israel is trying to send a warning. If you keep firing missiles at us, you're not safe anywhere, not in Yemen, not in Lebanon, and not in Gaza. But here's where things get tricky, because cutting off the head of the snake doesn't always kill the snake. Remember, the Houthis have been bombed by Saudi Arabia for nearly a decade. They've lost leaders before. They've been battered, blockaded, starved, and yet they keep coming back. So the question is, will this actually work, or is Israel just opening up yet another front in an already stretched war? Let's talk timing. Israel is already fighting Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and facing constant threats from Iran. Now, by striking Yemen, Israel is expanding the battlefield even further. That's bold, but it's also risky. Because Yemen isn't just a war zone, it's a chaos zone. For almost a decade, it's been torn apart by civil war. Saudi Arabia tried to bomb the Houthis into submission and failed. The Houthis, if anything, thrived by playing the role of victims of imperialism. And guess what? That narrative is already starting. Houthis are accusing Israel of targeting civilians. They are saying Israel is hiding behind the Gaza war just to justify new attacks. And for a group that feeds on being seen as oppressed underdogs, this plays right into their hands. But make no mistake, Israel wants deterrence. The defense minister Israel Katz literally said, whoever raises a hand against Israel, that hand will be cut off. And that's the message here. Israel is telling the Houthis, you mess with us, you pay. But let's zoom out even more, because this isn't just Israel versus Houthis. This is Israel versus Iran's entire proxy network. Every missile from Gaza, every drone from Lebanon, every strike from Yemen. From Israel's point of view, it's all the same fingerprints, Iran. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because when you strike Yemen, you're not just fighting Houthis, you're poking Iran. The Houthis are Iran's wild card, the chaos weapon. Iran gives them the tools, the weapons, the training, and lets them wreak havoc. So if Israel keeps hitting Yemen, it risks escalating directly with Iran. And if that happens, well, you don't need me to spell out what World War III headlines look like. Critics are already warning this could backfire. Israel is already stretched thin. Its military is already engaged on multiple fronts. And now it risks getting dragged into Yemen, a war that even Saudi Arabia with all its money and weapons couldn't win. And that's the honey part, because if history tells us anything, is this: you can bomb Yemen all you want, the Houthis aren't going anywhere. So here's a bigger picture. This isn't just about one strike. This is about a Middle East war expanding horizontally, across countries, across borders. Israel isn't just fighting Hamas or Hezbollah anymore. It's fighting Iran's entire shadow army. And the Houthis, they've just been moved from the sidelines to center stage. So will the strike deter them, or will it make them double down? That's a million-dollar question. Because every time Israel expands the battlefield, the risk grows that this isn't just going to be a Gaza war, or a Lebanon war, or a Yemen war. This could spiral into something much bigger. And if that happens, then what started as a war in Gaza could end up being remembered as a war that engulfed the entire Middle East. So here's the thing. The Middle East just doesn't do small wars. Every conflict pulls in neighbors, allies, proxies. And before you know it, you've got a regional firestorm. Israel striking Yemen is bold, it's shocking. But whether it's smart, that's a part history hasn't written yet. What do you think? Did Israel just make the right move by taking out Houthi leaders, or did it just open Pandora's box? Because right now all we know is this war just got a lot bigger and the world is watching.